Between March and June, the Circuit of the Americas in Austin, Texas is open to bicycles most Tuesday nights. I rode it on June 25, the last bike night for the 2019 season. It was a not too hot day by Texas standards, however, it was very windy and riders were faced with the strong headwind coming out of the pit lane and up to turn 1. This part of the track has an over 15% gradient, which isn't much of a challenge for a 1000 horsepower Formula 1 car. On a bicycle, it's a different story, and several riders ended up walking their bikes up the hill. The track opened in 2012 and hosts MotoGP, Formula 1, the IndyCar Classic Series, a 6 hours endurance race for LMP cars, plus several other motorsport events. After turn 1, the track drops down into turn 2 and I reached a top speed of about 67 km per hour or about 42 miles per hour. Not on my first lap though. I had to learn the circuit and needed a few laps to max out this downhill section. Turns 3, 4 and 5 are modeled after the Maggots-Beckett's Chapel sequence in Silverstone, England. On a bicycle, they are not much of a turn at all and can be ridden at full speed. I had my GoPro camera mounted in the middle of the handlebars, so it should be in a fixed position relative to the brake lever hood you see on the right. I don't quite understand why the hood moves inside the frame so much. Is that the flex in the handlebars, or due to the image stabilization of the GoPro that crops the frame ever so slightly? There's another uphill section between turns 8 and 9, not as bad as the one leading up to turn 1, but still something that slows you down quite a bit. Turn 10 is a blind corner and really fun to ride on a bike since it's downhill and very rewarding after the previous uphill section. Turn 11 is the hairpin leading onto the main straight. It's for sure a turn that demands some braking, even on a bike and even if you go wide. The back straight is about 1.2 kilometers or 3/4 of a mile long. Now the strong wind blew from almost behind and made this a fast section, despite the small uphill part. On TV, the tarmac on this track always looks so smooth. Well, it is not. It is very rough, and on my first lap I actually stopped and checked if I had a flat or broken wheel or lost a spoke. But no, it's just a super rough but grippy road surface. Really nice to ride on once I got used to it and built some confidence. This track is one of the few Formula 1 tracks that is driven counterclockwise. It has more left than right turns, placing greater physical demands on the drivers, whose bodies, particularly their necks, are more adapted to the lateral g-forces of clockwise circuits. Of course, on a bike it doesn't matter, there are no lateral g-forces. The circuit is about 3.4 miles or 5.5 kilometers long and has an elevation change of about 133 feet or 41 meters. Turn 12 is a tough one. It's a more than 90 degrees left hand at the end of the back straight, so you are coming in with some speed. And turning left means you were also turning into a strong headwind, which makes the ride somewhat unstable. Even on a relatively slow bike, I had to brake into the turn. On paper, the following sections are 4 individual turns, turn 13 through 16. In reality, you could also call them just 2 long sweeping turns. They are inspired by the Motodrome section in Hockenheim, Germany. Between turns 17 and 18 on the right and obviously outside of the track is the 251 feet or 55 meters tall observation tower. Turn 19 is a left turn and can be ridden at full speed, at least after a lap or 2 to learn it. It's another downhill section, so it's easy to be fast. Right before the final turn 20 is the pit lane entrance to the left. Going around turn 20 means the finish line is in sight, but it also means you will be staring at the incline up ahead to turn 1 and you will be riding into a strong headwind. And that was a full lap on the Circuit of the Americas in Austin, Texas. I hope Bike Night will be back next year, and it will be less windy. Thank you for riding with me today, and I hope to see you soon. Goodbye.